Am I the asshole? For telling my fiancé that while I love her, she can't expect my mom to prioritize her. My fiancé Janie and I are in the middle of planning our August 2024 wedding. We had a longish engagement of 2 years, so that we could save. My mom got engaged around Christmas time of this year and set her wedding date for May 2024. Her wedding is the last week in May. Ours is the first week in August, so they are just over 2 months apart. Janie was pretty shocked to hear about my mom's wedding. She asked me if I thought it was weird and I didn't understand why I would. She explained that she couldn't envision a parent getting married that close to their child, because she would expect the focus to be all on the child. She said her parents wouldn't even consider it. I think this situation has been a bit hard on Janie, as my mom is a professional wedding planner with virtually no budget, and the family seemingly only cares about her wedding. Janie recently had an altercation with my mom, because Janie mentioned she was going for a dress fitting and someone asked if my mom had seen her dress. My mom said no, and Janie made a joke that she wouldn't take my mom to any of her appointments as she might start trying on dresses. My mom asked Janie if Janie had a problem with her, and Janie just rolled her eyes. My mom's fiancé and I kept them apart the rest of the night, and when we got to the car I told Janie that wasn't called for. She began to get upset, so I reassured her that I get why she feels this way. Then, and I might be an asshole for this, I said while I love her so much, she can't expect my mom to feel as strongly about our wedding or to prioritize her. Janie became very quiet and didn't want to talk about it. Now I feel I may have been insensitive. Last week of May to first week of August is over 2 months apart, not 1 month, right? Not the asshole. I could understand Janie being miffed if the weddings were a week apart or even in the same month, but 2 months apart doesn't seem like too much of a wedding faux pas. I would think of the May one as a spring wedding and the August as summer. I feel like Janie's wedding dress comment was uncalled for, and Janie rolling her eyes instead of communicating properly was rude. What is Janie and your mom's relationship generally like, though? Edit: after reading some more comments, I feel more empathy for Janie. Her comment and eye roll were still, to me, disrespectful. I always support clear communication over passive aggressiveness, but I feel like there's more going on here. Info: your mom is literally in the wedding planning business. Has she offered you any tips, help? I mean, I kind of understand where Janie is coming from. Especially if her family, and families that she knows, tend to be all about their kids' weddings. Your mom seems not that interested in y'all wedding, and instead planned hers to be around 2 months from yours, so much of her focus will be there. On top of that, your mom is a professional wedding planner with virtually no budget, while you and your fiancé have planned for 2 years to afford your wedding. I can imagine feeling at least a little snubbed that your mom isn't, from what it sounds like, contributing to the wedding, whether monetarily or with her ample wedding planning skills and likely connections in the industry. Does this not bother you at all? Perhaps you have made peace with your mom being how your mom is. Your fiancé obviously hasn't yet, and that's understandable if her family is very much not that way. While what your fiancé said to your mom wasn't great, I can see where those feelings likely came from, and it doesn't sound like you're trying to see this all from her perspective. Your mom is a professional wedding planner, and she didn't realize it's rather tacky to get engaged and plan your wedding 2 months before someone else in the family who's been engaged and planning longer. On top of that, she has no budget and you've been saving up for this. Your mom is 100 trying to upstage your wedding, and your fiancé is very aware of that. Info: you said your mom is a wedding planner with plenty of possibilities. Is it possible that Jane is weirded out because due to her very specific job, she very specifically knows that brides would rather have the family attention on themselves instead of sharing the preparation phase with someone else? As a parent, one would expect her to be all focused on her kid getting married. Even more so when her job makes her an endless source of advice. Good info. And see, Jane herself grew up in a more traditional environment where parents of the groom bride are all focused on the kid getting married and would never do something like this unless the parent is very self-centered with a narcissistic tendency. I'm sorry if this sounds like a judgment to your mom. I can assure you it's not, just genuinely curious because I feel that the single 2 months thing makes little sense. Some people get really sensitive about wedding timings. Janie might feel like because you guys got engaged and set a wedding date first that your mom is trying to steal her thunder as a bride by have her wedding take place before yours. Maybe ask Janie if she would feel differently if your mom were having her wedding 2 months after. Based on her response, it might give you a better idea of what exactly her issue is. Not the asshole. I actually agree with Janie that it is weird that your mom swooped in and planned her wedding 2 months before yours. I said while I love her so much, she can't expect my mom to feel as strongly about our wedding or to prioritize her. Sure, but she isn't prioritizing you either op. I think Janie was hoping you felt the same as her. But, she is your mom and you know your relationship, and if it doesn't bother you then just try and get your fiancé to ignore and move along. Nah. While you are correct, Janie can't expect your mom to prioritize her. Janie is also correct, it is very weird for your mom to have a wedding 3 months before yours. If hers had been planned before yours, I would understand. Her timing is very strange. Talk to Janie with an open mind. If your mom and Janie had a good relationship, I think she was probably hoping your mom would be involved in planning your wedding, which she can't do if she is planning her own. Because, by 3 months before your wedding, everything should basically be arranged. Info. When did you guys pick the wedding date and when did your mom pick hers? Are any of your family going to have to travel far for either wedding? Maybe Jane is worried that people only have so much disposable income and thinks weddings so close may impact your family's gift-giving abilities. I may be stretching, but I can kinda see either one of these scenarios happening. Sorry, I'm still trying to do the math. Just over a month apart, that's 9-10 weeks apart, which 2 months apart plus some. I mean, I find it very odd that your mother, the professional wedding planner, would schedule what must be her second wedding 2 months before her son's wedding. She, being a wedding planner, should understand what brides, especially first-time brides, are like and how important these things are. Yeah, the timing is suspect and I think your mom did it on purpose. I'm going to go with ESH, you're probably the least sucky but still a little. Your mom sucks because she decided to plan a second lavish wedding 2 months before her son's wedding that had been in the works for 2 years. Even if it's not malicious, which I think it was, it's inconsiderate. Janie sucks because she can't control her emotions. You suck because you seem a little oblivious to your mother's mechanisms in this situation. Not the asshole. While personally I do find it a little weird that your mom wedged her wedding in before yours, that is probably standard behavior for your mom. Janie is just finding it hard to accept, while you've had your whole life to deal with what is probably not the first of self-centered acts by her, I'm guessing. Your mom isn't going to change. The sooner Janie realizes that, the easier the rest of your lives is going to be.